Have you jumped into a home renovation project and only after taking out that wall you realize, I might have bit off more than I can chew? Is it 6 p.m. and you have no idea what's for dinner? Do you schedule back-to-back appointments without considering that you need 30 minutes to drive from one place to the other? Have you spent more time decorating your bullet journal than actually using it? What do these have in common? These are all part of our executive function, specifically planning. Get ready to learn about your brain. Welcome to Motherhood and ADHD. I'm your friend, Patricia Sung. My mission is to be a lighthouse for mothers with ADHD, helping you find your path to success by learning to appreciate your ADHD as an asset. I'm seeking to change the paradigm that ADHD means your life is doomed to be a hot mess. So I'm sharing strategies and encouraging you in your pursuit of happiness to love who you are every day of your ADHD life. Hey there, successful mama. It's your friend, Patricia Sung. We are talking about executive function, the CEO of your brain. Now, I can't explain ADHD without discussing executive function. And if you're not familiar with executive function, you can go back and listen to the first episode in this series, number 53, for an overview of what it is. We have been talking about several different parts of executive function over the past few weeks, and today we're talking about planning. Now, before we get into our next segment about planning, let's do a little review shout out. Now, if you're listening on iTunes, please scroll down and leave an honest review on the podcast, as I love hearing what is actually helping you. Now, this one's about the potty training episode number 48. XOX Sam says, just what I needed. I've been needing something quick but informative to get my head in the game. My daughter is 2.5 and she's had a little interest, but it's time and I needed this to get my mind right. Thank you. Tomorrow is day 1. Now, not only do your reviews brighten my day, but they help move the podcast up in the search results, making it easier for other mamas to find. So thank you, because this is exactly why I do what I do. I want it to be something quick, you got your head in the game, and you're ready to take some action. So thank you so much, XOX Sam. Lots of hugs, and I super appreciate you giving me this encouragement and helping all the other moms hear about the podcast. So, planning. The definition of planning is a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something, or an intention or decision about what one is going to do, or as a verb, to decide on or arrange in advance. So in a simplified way, this is, did you think about this ahead of time? Did you choose your method deliberately? Are you keeping track? Are you efficient in how you're doing things? Now, I know some of you are laughing out loud already because you're thinking, what plan? Then the other half of you are thinking, I always plan, I can't not plan. What do you mean? We don't have a plan, we need a plan. And you are an overplanner. Maybe you're somebody who plans inefficiently. Perfectionism is one of the top coping mechanisms of choice for ADHD women, which goes hand in hand with anxiety, which often hides a diagnosis for high-functioning ADHD women. We get by our whole life by trying super hard to do everything exactly as it must be done, making it very stressful on ourselves. And a lot of times these things hide the underlying issue. Now, if you are one of my soul sisters on perfectionism and anxiety, you can go back and listen to episodes 41 and 43 where I talk about this super in depth. But for today, I'll just point out that this is very common. How else does this show up as an adult? Well, we redo our to-do list and we get stuck in that planning stage trying to get it just right instead of moving to the execution part, which is the part that gets stuff done. Maybe you have an issue telling a tight story. I sure do. If you don't really know your point to start with, you end up telling 15 stories along the way. Maybe you struggle to complete big projects. Either you just never even get halfway, or maybe you're one of the 90%ers who just can't quite get that last little bit done. You might have chaos in your home or on your desk, or you're frantically searching for that field trip form the morning of. We can also see a planning issue in our lateness. We don't plan to execute something in the time allotted because we don't have a sense of time, where we have time blindness. We forget that the whole process of exiting the house involves time. It's one of my kryptonites, I think. We also tend to put off big goals because we're not quite sure how to tackle them. We're not sure what the plan is to get it done. We have great intentions, but we don't have a plan to actually get there. Maybe you're one of those people who said, well, I really want to go back to school, but it just hasn't happened. We also often are starting our dinner prep when we should already be eating, forgetting that whole cooking part and prepping part actually exists. Waiting until our stomach says, I'm hungry, and we haven't planned to actually make the thing we need to eat. A lot of times we know that we need more time to complete the thing, and we see that it didn't go well because we didn't give ourselves enough time, we didn't plan well, but we don't take that data we received in the disaster and make a better plan for next time. A lot of times that's an issue with the time blindness too. Generally speaking, planning for the future as a whole is hard. Planning for retirement or saving money up for a house or a big vacation or just sticking to your budget. That whole idea of planning ahead is really difficult for us. And it does create money problems because often we use up our money before we get paid next time, or we use it for something not as important and now we have bills to pay. Other people will look at these patterns and see, oh, they're just so immature, or they have a lot of talk but no action, or they can't be counted on. Maybe they think that we don't care, or we're disorganized or lazy or spacey or forgetful. Or on the flip side, that we're too bossy and anal retentive and we have to do it our way because we know our way will get things done. So we're rigid, frigid, and refuse to be flexible because I know that if I follow my plan exactly, it will get me where I need to be, and planning on the fly, no, thank you. That just means a whole big mess. Or maybe other people see you as decisive. You're just spinning your wheels. Maybe you have analysis paralysis where you keep debating and researching and thinking about what's the right idea, but because you're not sure of the plan, you don't ever take that step forward. Now, there is a positive to being an iffy planner. We are definitely good at objective third-party solutions. We have nonlinear thinking, which is linear thinking is great for planning, but because we have nonlinear thinking, we're good at looking outside the box and really good at problem solving and trying to figure out what's a different way we could do this because we don't have our brain stuck within the lane of what's usually done. We can see things that other people don't. We're also really good at making things happen in an emergency or in a time crunch because that dopamine hit ramps up and we hit hyperfocus and we can make things happen in those stressful situations because our brain likes the extra chemicals that it's pumping out right now. We also tend to be better about living in the moment. Because we're not future focused, we can enjoy the right now. Now, I see an issue with planning in lots of places in my life. Telling a tight story for sure. I did an episode all about that. It's number 51, where I talked about friendship strategies as a partner episode to when I was on the Friending Show with Noelle Rhodes, all about what are the strategies, like how to be a better friend when you have ADHD. Well, telling a tight story is one of those things we can be a better friend because it sure can drive the neurotypicals crazy. Another issue for me is the time blindness. I just don't think about the time needed between when I'm like, okay, it is time to go. In my head then, it's like, okay, now it's time to put on your shoes and get your bag and do all those things to get actually into the car, which when you have kids is like a solid 15 minutes just to get in the car. And then the driving time. And then I forget to think about when I get out of the car, I still have to walk to wherever the thing is. Like you don't just bam magically appear in the location. You have to get out of the car, walk through the parking garage or parking lot, take the elevator and all that. And my husband's like, you can't just like snap your fingers and arrive at the door. You have to think about the whole process. My brain does not think about the process. It just doesn't. So I am very purposeful in my planning while also leaving extra time in there for flexibility because as a mom, nothing ever goes according to plan because kids are just not predictable. So giving myself that extra buffer lowers my stress greatly. But it has taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of practice. This isn't a skill that my brain just got. I had to develop it. It's just like exercising a muscle and making it stronger. This is something that we have to practice because I have seen that when I have a well thought out plan, it hugely lowers the chaos in my life. Now, there's always going to be chaos because I have little kids. But I have figured out ways to lower that chaos and I want to share them with you. I have been writing the Disorganized Mom's Guide to a Peaceful Morning and I want you here in with me. It is so good. We are lightening our loads. We are bringing confidence into our mornings and we are starting our days well. I put together 5 super quick videos that you can watch, and together we're going to take some simple steps on making our mornings more peaceful. This will work for any mama with any aged kids, big, small, big gaps, small gaps, whatever. We're going to make a plan that works just for you because I want you to have that calm, confident morning so that it creates an environment of peace for not just you, but for your kids as well. I am done with the crazy mornings of running around like a lunatic, yelling at everybody, can't find anything. I am done. And I want that for you too. So join me. Head over to my website, www.patriciasung.com/peaceful-morning. And join me. We're going to kick it off in October. And all of us together, we are going to encourage each other and make our mornings better. Now, what else can we do? As I mentioned every episode, awareness. Knowing where you repetitively fall down. Where are you getting kicked in the rear over and over again with planning? Having that awareness allows you to start to see the patterns. And when you start to see the patterns, then you can start to make changes because you know where to start. It's also really helpful to write down every step of a process that you're struggling with and writing down some times. So for example, if the lunchtime is just getting chaotic and you can't seem to get everyone fed before the hangry hits, write down all the steps that you need to take in order to get lunch ready with how long it will take. So getting everybody inside, wash hands, etc. 10 minutes. Making sandwiches, 10 minutes. Write down all those items and see how much time it's going to take you in total. And then ask somebody who is actually good with time to check your time calculations. Because for me, I would say getting everybody inside, 2 minutes. That's not true. It's not going to be 2 minutes. I have to argue about it's time to go inside. Yes, I already gave you your 5-minute warning. Put the toys back in the bin. Get in the house. Wash your hands. No, please wash your hands. Stop touching that. You have dirt on your hands. Please wash your hands. All that stuff takes longer than 2 minutes. But in my brain, it takes 2 minutes. So have someone who's good at time tell you, no, Patricia, that's ridiculous. It's not going to take you 2 minutes. It's going to take you 10 or 15 minutes. What is realistic there? And then add all that up, and then you can backtrack how long it's actually going to take you to get in the house in order to feed everybody, like actually putting food in their mouths at noon. For me, I would be like, cool, if we want to eat at noon, then I'm going to tell everybody at noon we should go inside. No, sandwiches don't make themselves. I should bring everybody in at 11:30 in order to get everyone ready, sandwiches made, etc., to eat at noon. So this is something that I am not good at, but I have learned to practice writing all of that out. Money planning is also a huge struggle bus for ADHD. So go back and listen to episodes 22, 23, 24, 25, 31, and 32. I know that's a lot, but I cover everything from savings and budgets and how to pay your bills on time and actually keep money in your account and not overdraw it. All of these important things when it comes to money are in there, and I want them to help you feel less stress. So go listen to all of those money episodes. And you don't have to memorize all those numbers. I have them all in the show notes. You can head over to the website and click on the link and go right to those. And of course, as always, cognitive behavioral therapy is a huge help to overcome negative past issues. And it will see where your past is holding you back and let you work through some of those issues. That's always going to be a huge help. So, are we good at planning? Probably not. But we can learn that skill. We can practice that skill. We do need to work at it. But over time, that gets better and better. And we can create more peace and planning in our lives over time. So head over to the website, sign up for the Peaceful Mama Morning Challenge that we're doing next month. I want you in there with me. It's going to be awesome. And we'll continue talking about all of our executive function pieces over the next few weeks because knowledge is power. And the more you know about how your unique brain works, the better you can use your strengths and bumper pad your weaknesses. We cannot change who we are, nor do we want to, but we do want to find ways to feel confident in how we run our lives with purpose. And I'm here, Mama, to help you do just that. Have an amazing week, sweet Mama, and we will talk soon. Thank you for listening to Motherhood and ADHD. For more resources, head over to our website, www.motherhoodandadhd.com.